Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I think probably everybody watching this video right now knows who TJ Hunt is, and obviously because you clicked on the video you probably know who he is, but a lot of people in the car community know exactly who TJ Hunt is. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how much TJ Hunt makes off of his YouTube channel, kind of all the businesses that are surrounding his channel, and just generally how much he makes per month and how much he makes per year. So juicy video, something that I haven't done on this channel before, but I wanted to do for literally ever. So definitely stay tuned. I think you'd be surprised. The numbers are pretty shocking. He does make a lot of money, but let's get into it. And at the very least, you guys can learn a little bit more about how YouTube works as a business, how you generate money, how much money is generated by certain things that you see on YouTube and certain practices, and we can go from there. Now you might ask yourself, why should I listen to this guy talk about how much somebody makes? Because yes, we are estimating. I do not have his tax return. I don't know exactly how much he makes, but I'm making a very, very close estimate. And why should you listen to me? Well, I've been in YouTube for a while. I've been in the car community on YouTube for a while. I've talked to many different car YouTubers just to get CPM ideas. I'll talk about what that means in a little bit, just so I can get a good rounding of what CPMs could apply, both mine and many different channels. I've also run a YouTube consultancy for a long time where I was working with a lot of much larger creators than myself, working on ad placement, branding, and I have a really good picture of how much ads actually bring in for revenue. And also I've done a lot of e-commerce work for other channels and including mine, and I know very well firsthand exactly what kind of numbers you can make with supporting e-commerce brands like Hunt & Co., which is TJ Hunt's merch company tied to his YouTube channel. Again, all of those things are going to be shocking numbers, I promise you, so let's get right into it and let's do it. Actually, before we start, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel and or you want to see more content like this, first off, let me know in the comment section below if this is a video you want to see again with another car YouTuber, maybe the Stradman, because I might want to make that video, so let me know in the comment section below. At the very least, consider giving this video a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, there's tons of cool stuff coming to this channel. So let's start with YouTube in and of itself. So how do you make money through YouTube itself? So YouTube pays you ads. This is what is called Google AdSense. Basically, YouTube puts an ad before, maybe after, maybe during, maybe it's a mid-roll ad, and when you are a creator, you can control how many ads are shown on your platform, and every time an ad is watched, you get a certain payout of money. It is a very small amount, but with volume, channels can build up that AdSense or that ad revenue for the YouTube channel. We have the RPM and the CPM. Basically what those end up being is the amount of money that the ad pays you per mil, which is per 1,000 views, and the RPM, which is the revenue per 1,000 views per mil. And that's actually what you see in your account. So that breaks up your split share with YouTube. Basically everyone talks about CPMs, and fortunately, automotive CPMs are pretty high. All right, so how much does TJ Hunt make? So we're gonna look at an average over the last rolling 12 months of views. So per month, he's averaged 4.3 million views. And we're gonna estimate that he does have a CPM of $13.50. And after the split with YouTube, that's going to generate $58,050 a month. So through YouTube AdSense alone, this is just posting videos, monetizing them on the channel, nothing else. He's generating $58,050 a month, or per year, $696,600 per year, just off of YouTube without any of the auxiliary supplemental things. On top of that, there is what is called a super thanks feature where viewers can give back to the creator on the YouTube video itself. What you'll actually find here is you go through channels and you look at many channels. That tool is used much more in smaller channels because you're seeing more of that direct impact. There can be a personal thanks from the creator. It actually isn't a very highly used tool. So our estimates based on just canvassing a large portion of the community and other YouTubers and asking them how much is being used, we're estimating that's only about $500 a month or $6,000 per year. Okay, next we're talking about 2 brand sponsorships. Now there are going to be a lot of brand sponsorships that we've actually looked at over a month, and I've analyzed all of them and we've gotten estimates on all of them, but there are 2 that he has affiliate commissions with. Now these are the core ones that he's listing in his descriptions. These are the ones that are gonna generate quite a lot of revenue. You're still gonna see a high ad fee, but where most of your money is coming from as a YouTuber is once you start seeing the conversions for the right kind of brand for their audience, the commissions can be very, very large. At his viewership of 4.3 million viewers, we're estimating that one of his brands, and I'm not gonna go too far into the brands because I don't want to give them placement here, but MVMT, which is watches and jewelry, he's probably doing about $10,000 a month in commissions and whatever is added on to as a fee for having that relationship. He also has a relationship with Meguiar's, which is a car products company, and we're going to estimate that he's doing about $15,000 a month with the Meguiar, again, between commission and the relationship for the placement, and that's going to come out to about $300,000 a year or $25,000 per month between those two brands. Now again, those are the brands that he has affiliate relationships with. Every once in a while, he'll have another brand sponsorship that has an affiliate relationship, but typically he's not placing those in long term. So they're only gonna be that affiliate for the one video, which means that the commission for that isn't high and it's not successful for him, so he only does it once. The ones that we're seeing that are video after video after video are the ones that we're seeing very much convert, and you can tell just by the actions of his channel and his team. Now we're gonna talk about paid sponsorship for videos. Now, he does do this really well. He does do a lot of sponsorships every month. So I went through the past 2 years of his channel and analyzed all of the videos and all the sponsorships he's done, and he does do quite a few sponsorships. But because he keeps a very high post rate, meaning he posts very often, you don't feel like you're constantly being bombarded with sponsorships because there are videos that are not sponsored. But we've seen, just looking at the last month as an example, those are the specific ones here, but I've looked at about 2 years here. We saw, skincare, we got 2 ads, we got a mattress ad, we got meal prep ad, food delivery ad, an app, we have another service, we have watches. And each of those ads put together, I've gone through and done some research. I've actually talked to other creators that have worked with the same brands and understood their fees. We're looking at, in the last month and a rolling average over the past 2 years, he's probably generating about $100,000 per month just off those paid ads within the videos. And that comes out to a yearly $1.2 million. Now, on top of that, he owns what is called Hunt & Company, which is his merch brand tied to his YouTube channel. Now, you guys would be surprised, those can generate quite a lot of money. They usually tend to track exactly what AdSense is. So if you look at creators as a whole, and this is coming from my experience working as a consultant, for a lot of creators, it tends to track AdSense if you're doing things right in a high CPM level. You can also do a lot better, but it really depends on what you're selling. If you're just selling merch, wearable merch, that's gonna be the case. We're gonna estimate, I'm pretty sure about this estimate because I both looked at traffic to his site, which you can do, there are ways to do it, and just what other people are seeing. I also looked at some of his products and what they would cost and your profit margins on them. And I also looked at a lot of other e-commerce sites that I've worked on and personal sites to look at conversion rates. I'm gonna estimate he's doing about $60,000 per month in profit, not in revenue, in profit. And that's gonna come out to $720,000 a year. All those numbers sounded pretty large. I think any of us would be happy with any of those numbers alone, just standing alone. But the reality is he has a channel that has a high cost to run. If you look at all of his cars, he probably has a very, very high expense ratio. But with that said, he is definitely taking home a good chunk of change. So our estimate for our total month's profit, right? This is the profit. We're looking at $243,550 per month is my estimate. And that's gonna come to a yearly $2,922,600 of profit from his revenue streams. Now, with all that said, there is one very, very big caveat. The other means of revenue that TJ Hunt does have that we haven't been able to estimate is that he is an owner or a part owner in Throttle, which is a car part business. Those businesses generate a very large amount of money. I don't know, it is not public information how much of that he owns or how much he is paid or what his generation for that is. So that is gonna be a very, very large portion of revenue. So we're at just shy of $3 million a year. The other things that we have to think about are profits coming from cars, the residual value upon sale of the car. So typically what YouTubers or just anyone will do that will run a business is they will purchase a car if they're doing a business around cars, because the rules are a little bit different because they become business assets, R&D testing. They're more of test vehicles rather than a vehicle for a business. So the way that you do the taxes are a little bit different. Typically you can claim the full cost of the car, but then you sell it, which is then considered profit on a rolling year. And what all that breaks down to is that you have maybe not depreciation of cars, but he's going to have some rolling money coming in from the sale of cars, and some of the vehicles he drives definitely do appreciate. The same thing with parts. And then also the last thing is from a real estate perspective, you know, the shop he is at, more likely than not, he has some ownership in real estate, so there is some value coming in through appreciation, realized gains. But you know, the hard numbers of what we discussed, he's just shy of 3 million. He's at $2.9 million a year. My expectation is between throttle, between car sales and appreciation and real estate, he's probably closer to the $4 million mark. But I do want to be completely honest, it is very hard and almost unrealistic to estimate those revenue streams. And the other thing, just a caveat, is every once in a while when you're working with a brand that is something like an app, a game, he doesn't do any crypto sponsorship, but one of those more highly volatile things that you know that someone's going for a grab in the market, every once in a while you'll see a much, much higher fee. So I do want to caveat that that 3 to 4 million range for what he's making in revenue every year might actually get thrown by an app sponsorship or a placement for a product that is greatly over what my expectation would be. You know, a lot of those expectations is he's probably charging around $10,000 a placement. But with that said, every once in a while, he might get a placement that could be upwards of, you know, $100,000, $200,000, as much as $500,000 for a placement or a series of ads. So what I might have estimated as $50,000 might have been for 5 ads, might have been $500,000 for 5 ads. So the reality is, if you looked at over a couple years, he's probably going to have years that are greater than others by a significant amount because of those placements, but it's hard to tell and hard to estimate. But what we can know is he's probably taking off the table $3 to $4 million a year. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I don't want to get too far into it. There's a lot more to talk about, you know, the business behind running a YouTube channel. There's definitely more money to be realized, and you end up actually not paying a lot of taxes on a lot of that, if you can believe that, because you can write a lot of expenses off. You'd be really surprised even at that rate. So what other YouTubers potentially take home from that money after they've paid their taxes is probably a lot less than what TJ Hunt and his crew will take home, just because of the nature of expenses on top of this with running a business like that. And I can speak from personal experience there. But he's doing pretty good. And you know, that's the video. That's how much TJ Hunt makes. And guys, again, if you enjoyed this kind of video, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to analyze another YouTuber. I'm happy to do it. I love spending time and doing this. It's like a super passion, something that I was doing before just because I was interested and I had the skill set to do it. It does take me a couple days of, you know, hard work to really go through all this information and put something like this together. But if you have another YouTuber, automotive preferably, but just another YouTuber that you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section below. And have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next video.